What are you doing?
What day is today?
Oh, right. What day is it today?
Oh, Monday! Always Monday.
Always
hard. So like us,
Follow us.
subscribe to us, and
Couch hard with us.
Couch hard.
Hello everybody, and welcome to an exciting edition of the month of October. We bring to you 31 days of October, 4 episodes, exciting episodes of Halloween just for you guys. We have compiled 31 of our favorite Halloween horror flicks. I have never seen his papers, and he has never seen mine. We have always talked about what we like, what was our kind of like our favorite movie, you know what I mean? What was our favorite? But we've never actually shared a list that we sat on our own and wrote. So for the first time ever, and we're gonna hit 31 of our top favorite movies. So I hope you guys stay with us, stay tuned. And Michael, let's get the show on the road, shall we? Outstanding play there, Michael. I really did appreciate the tone, and I'm glad you said a few words. Thanks, man.
What's your favorite scary movie? You want to talk to Michael? No problem. Michael, it's for you.
You know you gotta drop a few lines there. Usually you talk. Oh yeah? Who was it? Oh really? This doesn't go in order from best to worst, by the way.
Doesn't go in order.
It does not go in order from best to worst. Rock, paper, scissors. Michael, who goes first? 1, 2, 3. Looks like you win.
Hard!
So, Michael, tell me what movie you decided on first. Share it with us.
Look, I gotta choose the one that stars me. So, Halloween.
Halloween. That's a good choice.
1978, John Carpenter's Halloween.
Fantastic.
Original. That's
Awesome.
starting off the show.
Cool.
What I like about the first Halloween, the original Halloween, is just the simplicity. It's the fact that we don't know what he is. He's just evil. He just is. The big thing for me is the music. This music, it just does something to me, man. I don't know. It just gives me chills inside. It's awesome.
Dude, it's classic. It's like a classical song. So now, my first choice was Dead Silence.
James Wan directed that.
James Wan directed it.
You serious?
That's right, man. James Wan directed it. I'm going to probably say that James Wan is probably one of my, if not, my favorite directors out there for horror movies. And it's just, he knows how to bring it.
Yeah.
He knows how to get the scare out of people. And you know what's awesome too is he doesn't use much CGI.
Yeah. Okay, so, number 2 here. Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. Essentially...
Oh!
Essentially, the first slasher ever. Psycho. Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. It's, in my books, definitely the first slasher because he uses a knife. The idea of slashing comes with a knife.
Okay.
Or with the axe, or with, that act. A masterpiece for the generations. Same thing. The music by Bernard Herrmann. Oh my god, in Psycho. Like, the Alfred Hitchcock is a genius. I mean, just the way he shoots, the way every shadow and every decision, like the fact that he makes the actors eat on purpose. in a lot of those scenes to build tension, to build on their character or what the character is feeling. The way Anthony Perkins, as Norman Bates, eats these fucking candies, these candy corn, makes you nervous. Because he's fucking nervous that this private investigator is gonna find out what's going on. So he's just popping these things, and the way he's chewing and the way it's like getting in there, you know what I mean? Anyway, Psycho, check it out, man. Alfred Hitchcock Psycho, 1960.
My next one is, and this is probably going to be top 5 now that I see that in this order. The first Conjuring. Enough, James Wan again. The whole spiritual ghost thing. If anybody out there who hasn't watched The Conjuring, I suggest you do watch it. I don't want to give too much away to spoil the movie.
It's about atmosphere.
It's about creepy
shooting style.
Creepy, you know. It gives you a creepy feeling. It's James Wan's projection of what horror should be with his scares. He brings good storyline, and if you guys want to get the best thing about James Wan, I believe in his movies, is that he makes you feel attached to his characters. Michael, on to you. What's your third one? Can you read?
Scream.
Yes!
1996.
Yes!
Wes Craven.
Yes!
Scream.
Oh, Wes Craven, you are the man.
Yeah, man.
God rest your soul, because the horror genre is still going, but it's not as strong.
It's not the same.
Not the same. Wes, you have, oh man.
It's just the imagination.
That's all I gotta say.
The imagination on this man, you know? It was a reinvention of the genre. What it was the meta references that he brought to the horror genre. But he did they talked about and watched Halloween.
Yeah.
It was a very entertaining way to kind of bring the genre forward in a place we never saw.
Yes, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Awesome.
And saying so, because the way I thought about writing this, I bring to you The Conjuring 2. Yes, guys, another one, James Wan, Conjuring Part 2. You don't need to watch them in succession from 1 and then watch number 2. You can watch 2 first, or you can watch 1 first. It doesn't really make a difference. It's the same premise, same atmosphere. If you liked Part 1, I think Part 2 steps it up. If you want to consider it a sequel, it does what a sequel's supposed to do. Michael, and what does a sequel do? What is it supposed to do?
Gives you more.
Gives you more. So it gives you more scares, more horror, more love, more affection, and more awesome.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. So Conjuring 2. Michael, what is your number 4?
So Jason Lives. Friday the 13th, Part 6. It has some meta references, which is interesting. We were just talking about that. Meta references are when a film or a piece of art is kind of self-referential. So it either pokes fun, or it makes fun of itself in a way, or it makes fun of the genre, or when the performer addresses the audience and breaks the fourth wall. It's just, so when it breaks the screen, the fourth wall, it becomes sort of a meta reference kind of. So yeah, and just, they made him more, this is when he took that transition. Jason Voorhees, he became more zombie-like. So he was all deformed, right? He was like decomposed.
That's how I feel about number 7.
He got struck by a piece of by lightning. Part 6 is where it really gets a great rhythm, and it's really, they cut the fat, and it's a quick movie. It's fun.
But see, that's
violent.
So it's funny that we have this. I picked Scream 1, Wes Craven again, a fantastic movie. Yes. So there's not much to say about that. We've already covered that one. But, what is your number 5?
I've got Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood.
Yes!
With Kane Hodder.
His mask is chipped to the bottom where you see his teeth. And he's
the makeup?
Yeah.
Just phenomenal on the character.
And he's a little more savage, right? He's a little more savage. Like,
it's a little harsher, which is why the studio had a tough time. Like, they had to edit a lot of shit out of it, right? For example, like, when he was killing that person in the sleeping bag, like, he hit her 1,000,000 times on the tree. Yeah. They only did it once.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So, but still amazing kills, very creative, amazing makeup, inspired.
And the dark scenery.
Now, here's another thing. It's actually, the studio wanted to do Freddy versus Jason.
Oh.
But they didn't have the rights, right? It was two separate studios. Paramount had Jason, and New Line had Freddy, so they couldn't get a deal done. So what did they think? They're like, okay, let's do a Jason versus Carrie. So if you guys know Carrie,
the prom queen girl who was spit on, who eventually found out she had powers. The main imagery, guys, if you don't know what Carrie is, everyone knows this.
Yeah.
She's standing there in her white prom dress, and she's covered in blood.
Pig's blood.
Covered in blood, and you watch the movie to find out. You know, we're not talking about that, but it's a fantastic movie.
It's just tangents. You know, we love horror, and it's all connected.
Carrie.
So it's Jason versus Carrie, essentially. But it's not Carrie. That's not her name. It's just a girl with those powers.
Yes.
So anyway, go ahead, number 5.
My number 5, I gotta give it to you. I picked Scream 2. The reason why I picked Scream 2 is because I love the continuity from the first movie. It flowed very... The number 1 ended, the number 2 picked up where number 1 ended, and it just flowed well. Neve Campbell's performance was fantastic.
Yeah.
Timothy Oliphant.
Oh!
I forgot.
Fantastic.
Yes.
That was the first time I ever saw him, and I never forgot him.
So, the whole cast. David Arquette, Courtney Cox, Neve Campbell, Timothy Oliphant. So, guys, Scream 2, utterly fantastic. Again, another great sequel. More action, more blood. And what's funny about this? Jamie Kennedy says it. The sequel's always better. They try to outdo the first one.
Yeah.
And Jamie Kennedy says it.
The
meta.
rules.
You're talking about meta? There you go. There's our meta.
Man. So, number 6. I have Silence of the Lambs.
Ooh.
Okay,
Ooh.
it's
You know what? I don't have that on my list. That's a fucking good one.
Sad because maybe some of the guys will be like, well, that doesn't count, but it has one of the most iconic horror figures, which is Hannibal the Cannibal Lecter.
Oh yeah.
I mean, with that muzzle on,
Yes.
and seeing him freaking just rip faces and But what
Anthony
I truly
Hopkins,
love,
man.
guys, what I truly love about that movie, Jodie Foster was fantastic as Clarice Starling, but Anthony Hopkins, I will never forget your interpretation of Hannibal Lecter, because the juxtaposition of just who you are, what you bring as a man, you're so gentle and cultured and intelligent, well-spoken, calm, and you do the juxtaposition of making this of making him this psychotic animal. He loves all this art, literature, and he's just so, like I said, gentle. But when he strikes, it scares the fuck out of you.
He hits you like a ton of bricks.
Yeah, that's what I love about that
Pretty
movie.
Awesome. It's threatening.
And just his interpretation. Anyway, so Silence of the Lambs, 1991, directed by Jonathan Demme. Beautiful.
Check that
God
out.
rest his soul as well.
My number 1 favorite scary film, I picked Friday the 13th. I picked the original with the mom. You can't go wrong with that, guys. It just tells us how the beast comes to be.
Remember, he was also deformed. He was bullied.
He was bullied.
That's
great. Where I say, if you want backstory and why Jason is, you can't not go without watching the first one.
Oh, yeah.
The original Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
The first movie is very slow. It is very slow. I'd say probably the slowest of all slashers.
It's pretty rough.
But it is his background and how he comes to be. So the Jason Voorhees, if you're familiar with him, he's the hockey mask guy. He's the one, and you'll see why he comes to be. Yeah. So awesome. On to your next one.
Number 7 for today, Child's Play, 1988, the original.
It's in my list. Everyone's afraid of a fucking doll.
Dude,
Everybody. So imagine this doll coming to life and running at you with a fucking knife. That's amazing. Just
But how about this? It stops, then you call the police. Who's gonna believe you?
You think you're crazy.
Who's gonna believe that?
Exactly.
That's what scares me.
That's funny.
You have no one to help you. Yeah.
That's right.
Hard. Come on. Don't leave me hanging. So yeah, Child's Play is just a simplicity. Yes, it has the idea of voodoo in it.
It brings
transfers his soul into a doll.
It brings child fear. It brings
yeah.
everyone's childhood doll to life, a murderous doll. That's all you gotta say.
Yeah.
A murderous, scary-ass doll. Next for me, we've already talked about this one again. Friday the 13th, Part 7. That was the #1 movie that got me attached to the Friday the 13th series because Kane Hodder brought what I wanted.
You know what those films are more about? The creative killing.
Yes. But I don't like...
How can we murder a human being in a visually exciting way?
So
number 8 and the final film for today's episode, Wes Craven's A Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984.
on my fucking list also. He brought us The Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
If not, probably my #1 horror character. Correction.
Yeah.
#2 horror character. For sure. Freddy Krueger.
Come on.
And I picked Child's Play 1 for my next one. That's my number 8. My number 8 is Child's Play 1.
So we've already explained.
We've already
what's going
explained exactly what's going on. Stay tuned to next week's episode. We'll bring
Part
you,
2.
We'll bring you 8 more of our favorites, our discussions, our background, a little history about them. Yeah. Stay scared. Hard.
Hard.
All right. Let's do it. Let's bring it.
Go. Hard. Yeah.
Hard. Yo, Mike. Yo, man. Okay. You're fucking weird. Whoa! The fuck? What do you want, man?
If you want to see more of our hardness, like, you said hard nuts. What the fuck is that? You want me to start it? Hello everyone, if you like what you see and you want to see more of our hardness, like us, comment, follow us, subscribe, couchhard.